and die, evil stepdaughter. You want to bring shame to my house? Die with that bastard in your belly. Please, Mama, please don't do this. The baby.
Filled with anger, she pushed with all her strength. The pregnant girl's scream tore through the afternoon as the water swallowed her whole. How did we get here? Let's find out. Welcome to African Stories by Priceless. Subscribe to enjoy more African stories with life lessons. In the small dusty village of Amaudara, where red sand painted every footpath and riches danced in many homes, there lived a pretty girl named Ifeoma. Her mother died giving birth to her, so it was just her and her father. Papa Obinna owned a small palm oil business in the village. Nothing big, but enough to keep them comfortable. He loved her more than his own life, called her his morning light, his only treasure. He braided her hair himself, made sure she went to school with a full belly and clean uniform. Life was simple but sweet until Ifeoma turned 12. That's when Papa Obinna brought Adaku home. Ifeoma, come and greet your new mama, he said one evening. A woman stood in their parlor, tall with smooth skin and a bright white smile. She wore expensive wrapper and gold earrings that caught the light. Behind her stood a girl about Ifeoma's age. Her daughter, Chidera, pretty girl with long braids and new shoes that sparkled. Hello, my dear, Adaku said sweetly. Your father has told me so much about you. We're going to be one happy family now. Papa Obinna married Adaku the next month. Big ceremony with plenty of food and palm wine. Everyone in the village came. At first, things seemed fine. Adaku cooked good food, kept the house clean, smiled when visitors came. But when Papa Obinna went to the market, a different Adaku appeared. Don't touch that pot. That rice is for my Chidera, not for you. Why are you still sleeping? Get up and sweep before your father wakes. Wash your own uniform. I'm not your slave. Ifeoma tried to tell Papa Obinna once. Papa, Mama Adaku says I can't eat the rice. She says it's only for Chidera. Papa laughed. Ifeoma, stop making trouble. Your new mama is trying her best. Be grateful. Not every woman will accept another woman's child. After that, Ifeoma stopped complaining. 3 years passed like this. 3 years of pretending everything was fine in front of Papa Obinna. 3 years of suffering in silence. Then Papa got sick. It started small. Headache, fever, nothing serious at first. But it didn't go away. His body grew weak. Food tasted like sand in his mouth. He couldn't work anymore. Adaku took him to the hospital. They gave medicine. It didn't help. She took him to the church. They prayed over him. He got worse. She took him to the native doctor. The old man gave him herbs to drink. Still, nothing worked. 3 months after the sickness started, Papa died. At the burial, Adaku cried louder than anyone, threw herself on the grave, called Papa Obinna her beloved husband. People felt sorry for her, brought her food, gave her money. But that same night, after everyone left, Adaku stopped crying immediately. She went into Papa's room and started going through his things, counting money, checking papers. The next morning, she called Ifeoma to the parlor. Your father owed my family money before he died, she said, her voice no longer sweet. Your mother knew this. That's why he let me come here. Now that he's gone, this house, this business, everything here pays that debt. You understand? Ifeoma's mouth hung open. But Papa never said, "Are you calling me a liar?" Adaku's eyes flashed dark. "Little girl, you're here because I allow it. You have no family now, nobody, just me. And if you want to stay under this roof, you will work, you will earn your place." Clear? That's when Ifeoma understood. Mama's comfortable life was over. From the next day, her real suffering began. Ifeoma will wake up at 4 in the morning. Sweep the entire compound in darkness. Fetch water from the stream 3 times before breakfast. Light the fire with wet wood. Cook for Adaku and Chidera. Serve them. Watch them eat while her stomach growled like an angry dog. Only after they finished could Ifeoma eat the scraps. Cold yam, watery soup with no meat. Sometimes just gari and water, no more school. Adaku removed her the week after Papa's burial. "Why waste money on you? You're a girl. You'll just marry and leave. Better you learn to work." Meanwhile, Chidera continued school. New uniform every term. New books, new shoes. She ate the best food, slept in Ifeoma's old room. And Ifeoma? She wore rags, ate leftovers. Her feet cracked from walking barefoot. Her hands became rough, like tree bark from washing clothes in cold water every day. The neighbors saw everything. Old Mama Olise would shake her head when Ifeoma passed carrying water. Papa Chukwudi tried to speak to Adaku once. "That girl is suffering. She's too thin. This is not right." Adaku smiled, that fake church smile. "Oh, Papa, you don't understand. Ifeoma is lazy. I feed her well, but she doesn't eat. I buy her clothes, but she tears them. What can I do? Some children are just born to suffer." After that, people stopped asking questions. Nobody wanted trouble with Adaku. 4 years crawled by like wounded animals. Ifeoma turned 17, still trapped, still suffering, still hoping somehow life would change. Then she met Obinna, his father's namesake. He worked at the motor park. He helped load goods onto buses, called out destinations, collected fares. His clothes were old, but always clean. His smile was real. He saw her one day carrying water from the stream. 3 heavy jerry cans. Her thin arms shook with the weight. "Wait," he called out. "Let me help you." Nobody ever helped her with anything. He carried 2 jerry cans all the way to her compound. "What's your name?" "Ifeoma. I'm Obinna. I see you every day. You work very hard." Something warm spread in her chest. Someone noticed her. Someone saw her as a person, not a slave. He started meeting her at the stream every morning, helped her carry water, made her laugh with jokes, listened when she talked about her life. "One day," he promised, "I'll save enough money. We'll leave this place, start fresh somewhere. Would you like that?" Her heart believed every word. They met in secret, under the big iroko tree near the stream, away from Adaku's watching eyes. 3 months of stolen happiness, of feeling human again. Then Ifeoma's monthly flow stopped coming. At first, she thought it was stress. Hunger did strange things to her body. But when her breasts started aching and morning sickness hit, she knew she was pregnant. Terror grabbed her by the throat. She told Abina at their usual meeting place, "Abina, I'm carrying your baby." His face changed completely. The smile died. "What? I'm pregnant." 2 months now. Long silence. Heavy and dark. "What do we do?" she whispered. I need time to think. Give me a few days." He left quickly that day. Didn't help her carry water. Didn't look back. She waited. 1 day. 2 days. A week. She went to the motor park looking for him. "Obina?" "He travelled to Lagos," his friend said. "Left suddenly 4 days ago. Didn't say when he's coming back." Her legs went weak. She held onto a pole to keep from collapsing. Gone. He abandoned her. Left her alone with his baby growing inside her. For 2 weeks she hid it. Tied her wrapper tight. Wore loose clothes. Moved carefully around Adaku. But evil has sharp eyes. One evening, Adaku called her to the backyard. The sky was dark. Storm clouds gathered overhead like angry fists. "Remove your wrapper." Ifeoma's heart stopped. "Mama, I said remove it, now." With shaking hands, Ifeoma unwrapped her cloth. Adaku's eyes went straight to her belly. Small, but there. Undeniable. The slap came from nowhere. Ifeoma fell to the ground, tasting blood. "You worthless dog. Under my roof, you've been opening your legs like a goat in heat." "Mama, please." Another slap. This one knocked stars into her vision. Who is the boy? Who is he? He left. He travelled. I don't know where. So he used you and threw you away like rubbish? And now you want to bring this shame into my house? This bastard child? Thunder roared across the sky. Rain began to fall. "Mama, I'm sorry. Please. I'll go away after the baby comes. Just let me stay until..." "Until what? Until you give birth here? Until the whole village points at my house and laughs? Until they say I harbour prostitutes? Never!" She grabbed Ifeoma's arm. Her nails dug into flesh like iron claws. "Mama, what are you doing? Where are we going?" "Mama!" Adaku dragged her out of the compound, through the village paths. On a very hot afternoon, when people had gone to work, the people who stayed looked from their windows, but nobody came out.
Please.
Ifeoma screamed,
Mama, please don't do
begged,
this.
cried, but Adaku's grip was like death itself. They reached the river. The water roared angry, swollen with rain, dark and hungry. "Please, Mama, please don't do this. The baby, I'm begging you." Adaku's eyes turned cold like river stones. "Go and die, evil child. You want to bring shame to my house? Die with that bastard in your belly." She pushed with all her strength. Ifeoma's arms flew up, grabbing at air, at nothing. Her scream cut through the afternoon air as she fell backward into the rushing darkness. The water swallowed her like a hungry beast. Cold, burning cold. Water filled her nose, her mouth, her lungs. She couldn't breathe, couldn't see, couldn't tell up from down. The current grabbed her and pulled her under, tumbled her over and over. "This is how I die," she thought. "Me and my baby." But then her hand hit something solid. Wood. A big log rushing downstream with her. Her fingers grabbed it. Held on with everything she had. Her head broke the surface. She gasped, coughed out water, sucked in beautiful air. The current carried her far, far from the village, far from Adaku, far from everything she knew. After forever, the log hit the riverbank. Ifeoma crawled onto mud and collapsed, vomited water, coughed until her chest burned. The hot afternoon sun beat down on her. She lay there in mud and shallow water, one hand on her belly where her baby still moved, and cried. Hours passed. The sun began to set. Child? Child? Are you alive? An old woman knelt beside her, face wrinkled like dried fruit, eyes full of worry. Can you hear me? Ifeoma nodded weakly. What happened to you? Why are you here? The story poured out between sobs. All of it. The old woman listened. When Ifeoma finished, she helped her stand. My name is Mama Chinyere. I live just there. She pointed to a small house near the river. Come, you need food and rest. Inside, everything was simple but clean. Mama Chinyere made hot pepper soup, the first warm food Ifeoma had tasted in forever. You can stay here, the old woman said. I live alone. My children are in the city. They send money but never visit. I could use the company, but, Mama, I have nothing, no money to pay you. You have hands. You can help me in my garden. Help me sell vegetables in the market. That's payment enough, Ifeoma cried again. But this time, from something other than pain. For 5 months, she lived with Mama Chinyere. Planted vegetables, weeded, watered, carried goods to market. Her belly grew big and round. People in this new village whispered and pointed. But Mama Chinyere would smile and say, She's my daughter now. That's all anyone needs to know. And slowly, people stopped whispering. The pains came on a Wednesday morning, sharp like knives inside. Mama, the baby! They rushed to the health center. The midwife was kind. Push, my dear, push with everything you have. The pain felt like dying, like being torn in half. Ifeoma screamed until her voice broke. Push. One more scream. One more impossible push. Then a cry. Small but strong. The most beautiful sound in the world. A girl, the midwife said, placing the tiny baby on Ifeoma's chest. Small but healthy. You did well, Mama. Ifeoma looked at her daughter. Tiny fingers, perfect nose, Chinenye. She whispered. God gives. Because God gave you to me when the world tried to take everything. 7 years passed like clouds moving across the sky. Ifeoma worked harder than she ever thought possible. In the garden, in the market, everywhere honest money could be made. Mama Chinyere taught her everything. How to plant properly, how to sell, how to save money little by little until it grew big. Little Chinenye grew like a flower in good soil. Smart, so smart. She counted to 20 before she turned 3. Could write her name at 4. Mama, why is the sky blue? Mama, where does rain come from? Mama, why do some people have food and others don't? Questions and more questions. Ifeoma answered them all with patience and love. She started her own business, bought vegetables from farmers, sold them in town for small profit, saved it, bought more, made more profit. After 3 years, she rented a proper stall in the market. People knew her name, trusted her. That Ifeoma is hard-working, they said. Good woman, honest, God will bless her. And he did. By year 6, she bought land, built a small house, 2 rooms, a kitchen, a real home of her own. Then God blessed her again. She met a good man, a trader named Chukwuma, kind eyes, gentle voice. He knew her whole story and loved her anyway. They married in a small ceremony. Mama Chinyere cried happy tears. Within a year, Ifeoma was pregnant again. This time with joy, not fear. She gave birth to a boy. Then another girl. Then twin boys. Her house filled with children's laughter. With life. With blessing upon blessing. Chinenye started school, top of her class every term. Your daughter is brilliant, the headmaster said. She will go very far. Life was sweet, full, better than Ifeoma ever dreamed possible. Then one day, 8 years after the river, a woman came to her market stall. It took Ifeoma a moment to recognize her. Chidera, her former stepsister, but not the Chidera she remembered. That girl had been plump and proud with shiny skin and new clothes. This woman looked tired, thin, worn down by life. Ifeoma, she whispered. Is it really you? We thought. Mama said you drowned in the river. Ifeoma's heart pounded. I survived. Praise God. Chidera's eyes filled with tears. Can I talk to you? Please? They sat under a tree, away from the market noise. The story poured out like water from a broken pot. After that night at the river, Adaku told everyone. Ifeoma ran away with a man, packed her things and disappeared. Nobody questioned it much. Girls ran away all the time. Life continued. Adaku kept running Papa's business. Chidera finished school, got married to a rich man from the city, big wedding. Everyone said she was blessed. For 2 years, everything seemed perfect. Then Chidera tried to get pregnant. 1 year passed. Nothing. 2 years. Still nothing. They went to the hospital. The doctors ran tests. Everything looked normal. They said keep trying. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Every month, Chidera hoped. Every month, disappointment came instead. Her husband's family started pressuring him. Your wife is barren. Marry another woman who can give you children. What kind of woman can't produce even 1 child? Maybe she's cursed. Maybe she offended the gods. The whispers grew louder. Chidera tried everything. Hospitals, prayer houses, native doctors, herbalists. Nothing worked. Her husband started staying out late, coming home smelling like another woman's perfume. Last year, he married a second wife, a young girl from the village. Within 3 months, she was pregnant. Chidera watched her husband celebrate, watched him rejoice over another woman's swollen belly, watched him become a father to someone else's child. The pain was worse than any physical suffering. Then 2 months ago, something happened that broke her completely. Adaku, her mother, finally spoke the truth she'd been hiding for years. It's your punishment, she said one night when Chidera was crying. God is punishing me through you. What? Mama, what are you talking about? That girl, Ifeoma, your father's daughter. I threw her into the river when she was pregnant, tried to kill her and her unborn baby, and God saw everything. Chidera's blood went cold. The very thing I tried to destroy, God has taken from you. The very blessing I threw away, you can never have. That's karma. That's justice. Mama, what are you saying? You tried to kill her? She's probably dead, both of them. I pushed her into the river during a storm. Nobody survives that. But before I did it, she begged me. She begged me for her baby's life, and I laughed and pushed her anyway. Adaku started crying. Now I can't sleep. Every night I see her face, hear her screaming, feel her fingers trying to grab onto me as she fell. And every month you don't get pregnant, I know why. God is paying me back. That's when Chidera decided to find out the truth. She went back to their old village, asked questions. Someone remembered that night. Someone else said they saw a girl matching Ifeoma's description in a village downstream. It took weeks of searching, but finally someone directed her here. And now I find you. Chidera finished, tears streaming down her face. Alive, with children, beautiful children, while I have none. She looked up at Ifeoma. I know you have no reason to help me. I was terrible to you when we were growing up. I ate while you starved. I wore nice things while you wore rags. I watched my mother abuse you, and I said nothing. I did nothing. Why are you telling me this? Ifeoma asked quietly. Because I'm desperate. The doctors say there's nothing medically wrong with me, but I can't get pregnant. 8 years of trying, 8 years of shame, 8 years of watching everyone else have what I can't. She grabbed Ifeoma's hands. Please, I'm begging you, forgive my mother, forgive me. Maybe if you forgive us, God will forgive me too. Maybe then he'll bless me with a child. Ifeoma sat silent for a long time. She thought about that night in the river, the cold water, the certainty of death, the miracle of the log that saved her. She thought about Chinenye, about her other children, about how her house was full of the very blessing Adaku tried to destroy. Where is your mother now? She asked. At home, sick. She has sugar sickness. Her legs are swelling. She can barely walk anymore. The business collapsed years ago. We have nothing. Ifeoma stood up. Take me to her. They travelled to the old village. Everything looked smaller than Ifeoma remembered. Sada, Adaku's house, Papa's house, the house that should have been Ifeoma's, looked like it was falling apart. Roof leaking, walls cracked, compound full of weeds. Inside, Adaku sat on a chair, legs wrapped in bandages. She looked like a ghost, skin hanging off bones, eyes hollow. When she saw Ifeoma, she froze. No, she whispered. You're dead. I saw you go into the water. I lived. Ifeoma said simply. Adaku started shaking. Are you here to curse me? To pay me back for what I did? No. Then why? Why are you here? Ifeoma knelt down, so they were eye level. I'm here because your daughter came begging me to forgive you. She thinks God is punishing her because of what you did to me. He is, Adaku whispered. I know he is. I threw away a pregnant girl, and now my daughter can't get pregnant. That's justice. That's karma. Maybe, Ifeoma said. Or maybe God is just showing you the value of what you destroyed. You saw my pregnancy as shame, as a curse, as something to throw away. Now you see it was a blessing. The greatest blessing. She stood up. I have 4 children now. 4 beautiful, healthy children. My house is full of laughter and life. Everything you tried to destroy became everything I have. Adaku covered her face and sobbed. I'm not here to forgive you, Ifeoma continued, because some things are too big for human forgiveness. You tried to murder me and my baby. That's between you and God now. But I'm also not here to curse you, because you're already living in your own curse. She turned to Chidera. As for you, I can't give you children. That's not in my power. But I can tell you this. When I was in that river, drowning, I made a promise to God. If He saved me and my baby, I would never throw away anyone He sent to me. I would never turn my back on someone desperate, even if they were my enemy. She pulled out money from her bag, placed it on the table. This is for your mother's medicine, and this, she added more money, is for you. Not because you deserve it, not because I've forgotten what you both did, but because mercy is stronger than revenge, and I choose to be better than the pain that tried to kill me. Chidera fell to her knees. Thank you. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Ifeoma said. Use that money to go to a better hospital, a specialist. Keep trying, keep praying, but know this, if God blesses you with a child someday, you raise that child with kindness. You teach that child mercy. You make sure what happened to me never happens to anyone in your house. You break this cycle of wickedness. That's how you thank me. She walked toward the door. Ifeoma, Adaku called out weakly. I'm sorry. I know it means nothing, but I'm sorry. Ifeoma stopped but didn't turn around. I know you are. Suffering has a way of teaching people what kindness couldn't. Maybe that's the whole point. She left. As she walked home, Chinenye ran to meet her. Her daughter, her first blessing, her miracle from the river. Mama, Mama, where did you go? Ifeoma picked her up and held her tight. Just visiting some people from the past, my love. Are they nice people? No, baby. They weren't nice at all, but Mama showed them niceness anyway. Why? Because sometimes the best way to defeat your enemies is to show them what they could have been if they'd chosen love instead of hate. Chinenye didn't fully understand, but she would. One day, Ifeoma would tell her the whole story. About the river, about the woman who tried to end them both, about the mercy that saved them. But not today. Today was for living, for joy, for gratitude. Today, Ifeoma went home to her house full of children. Her husband who loved her, her business that fed them all, her life that was built on the ashes of what someone tried to destroy. And somewhere in that old village, Adaku sat with swollen legs, watching her only daughter cry over the empty womb that 8 years and counting couldn't fill. The river tried to swallow Ifeoma and her baby, but instead it washed her into a new life, a blessed life. A life so full that even her enemies could see God's hand upon her. That's karma. Real karma. Not just that evil people suffer, but that the very thing they try to destroy becomes the very thing that shows them what they lost. Adaku threw away a pregnant girl. Now she watches blessing after blessing fill Ifeoma's arms while her own daughter's arms stay empty. That's not just punishment. That's a mirror, showing you exactly what you rejected, exactly what you destroyed, exactly what could have been yours if you'd chosen differently. If this story gave you chills, don't scroll past. Subscribe right now. Ring that bell. This is African Stories by Priceless, where karma is real and mercy is powerful. Comment below and tell me, do you believe God pays people back for the evil they do? Have you seen karma work in real life? Share your story. Stay kind. And remember, the seeds you plant today, whether good or evil, will grow into trees you'll have to sit under tomorrow. Plant wisely. See you in my next story. I love you.